Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to your weekly tarot reads with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. So for those of you that are long time subbies, that are my ride or dies, my Radiant Nation, you know I used to do these. I did these for a very long time and then stopped to have a break and a hiatus, and many people were very upset by that fact. You know, if anything, it was very endearing for me to know that I was so missed and that I helped so many of you get your housework done. Not sure how I feel about that, but you know, anyway, so this is just a little reintroduction. So if you are, that's for those of you that already know who I am. For those of you that are new subbies, for those of you that are new to the channel, I am Raphael. I am a tarot reader who uses astrology, numerology, and energy work. That is kind of like my whole sort of mix of tricks, tips, tools of my trade, let's say. You know, I like to think that I've developed a pretty natural and unique style of the way that I do things. So I will, for the time being anyway, be offering you weekly readings again, along with a whole bunch of other amazing goodies that I have to come. For those of you that are already a part of the Radiant Nation, you know I love you for it. Thank you for your time and your patience, and thank you for allowing me to take a break from doing something that I love but had been doing for a very long time and needed a little bit of a break from. So with that said, now that you know who I am and what I do, you can get a personal reading from me. You'll always be able to find all of that stuff in the description. With that said, stay tuned and we will get into your personal reading. Hi Taurus, welcome to your weekly tarot spread with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. If you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you and I have missed you too. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So that being said, I will say, remember, they are general readings. Use your own discernment. Do your thing, right? Do whatever it is that speaks to and for you. But use these and find actionable ways to set them into motion. That's what I often say to my clients. So for your key to the week, you have the Chariot card, right? So it is going to be a fast, powerful, energetic, and dynamic week where you come up trumps. This is very likely for a lot of you. News that you've been waiting for is something is going your way. I am going to be honest, it is the Chariot card, so you may have to really guide and steer this. It's almost like you're having to really see something through to completion, and what that means is you're having to continually engage in it until you get what it is that you're looking for. So if if you want a yes, or if you're waiting for some kind of paperwork, you got to be doing the tracking, on a parcel or a delivery or something. Like this week, you're having to really ensure that you are an active part of the process of whatever it is that you're hoping to succeed. But all around, good things. I will say the Chariot card does have a very fast energy about it, and for that reason you just want to make sure that you're not going too fast, because otherwise the Chariot can lead to the Tower. All right, so your foundation for the spread, you've got the Moon card. Okay, so the past is alive and kicking this week. It's definitely a possibility. For this, you have, for your actions and interactions with the world at large, you have, your actions and options, you have the Seven of Pentacles. So this is about things that you've already invested in, where you've already put the time, the effort, the money, everything up front. This is where you kind of start to get the results. Things that you've put a lot of time and effort in are going to start yielding some kind of result now, which is great. Now, that being said, the Chariot card is the number 7. 7 Pentacles is also 7. 2 sevens represents news. So there's information that you've been waiting for. Maybe this is letters, paperwork, documentation. For a lot of you, this will have something to do with finances, money, resources, potentially even tests that you've had on a physical health level. This is you getting the answer that you want, or a satisfactory conclusion. But that 7 of Pentacles is basically saying, wait. This is like you know, if you place an order, like if you order a pizza, you don't phone up every 5 minutes to ask where it is, do you? I mean, I don't know, maybe you're one of those people, but this is kind of like that. Yes, you have to monitor it, but you've got to be mindful about how much you're micromanaging something. For your communications and conversations, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Take it easy this week. Communication as a whole is meant to be easy. You know, at this point, Mercury is finally direct, so it should be a lot easier at this point. Remember, Mercury is in the sign of Virgo, so it's at least offering a trine energy to your sun, moon, or ascendant sign. So that's really good news. And what it also suggests as well, you're taking your time with it. So especially if somebody is waiting for information, etc., from you, take your time in giving it to them. And this isn't to say draw it out or anything like that. What this actually is you taking the time to ensure that it's done right, but also that it doesn't stress you out. Now, for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, those last moments, those last days where it's easier than it's going to be moving ahead, I would absolutely soak them up. You know, that Nine of Pentacles is kind of like, enjoy the last of the good stuff because it's going to be a busy old year. Now, for those of you that are employed by somebody else, it gives you some leeway here. I kind of feel like this is not only you gaining some sort of reward, but I actually feel like this is an employer who will divulge something to you or share something to you, some kind of news that they're sharing with you to say, like, you know, there's this position coming up, or there might be some overtime or whatever. Whatever is shared with you has potentially a lucrative element to it, but it will help you feel a lot more at ease because there's a part of you that will feel like, you know what, I'm actually a part of the team, like I'm valued here. So that's really good news as well. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, take the time while you have it. All right, things are very much about to speed up for you. So the time that you have now, enjoy it, because there are going to come moments ahead, certainly in the next 3 or 4 weeks, where you're kind of like, yeah, you remember that time that I had off, or that things were slow and quiet? I wish I had taken that. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, stop and smell the roses. And for a lot of you, it looks like travel plans that you had disrupted for any number of reasons at this moment in time are now going ahead once more. And I got to be honest with you, you'll enjoy the trip this time round, whereas whatever the cancellation was, you wouldn't have enjoyed it, or there would have been something that got in the way of it. For your love and relations, you have the High Priestess. So for some of you, it looks like there is, certainly for those of you that are single and in the position to mingle, it looks like there's potentially someone who maybe you've been cultivating for some time. Maybe you've been talking for a long time on and off. It's been kind of going backwards and forwards, but nothing's really solidified. Well, this could be the week where it all comes together. This could be where you start to really get a deeper sense of whether this can or can't be something. And there's an element of this where you're wanting to keep it under wraps. It's like you don't want anybody to know that you're dating. And it's not because you're ashamed or you don't want anyone to know. It's because this feels good to me right now, and I want it to be for us, so that, do you know what I mean? It's like nothing can interfere with that. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, there is an element here of your significant other sharing something with you that is finally shaping up for them, but they may sort of hold you to secrecy. They might say to you, look, it's not concrete yet, so I don't want you to go sort of celebrating or screaming from the rooftops. It does suggest as well, whatever battles you and a partner have been fighting behind closed doors, they now kind of see themselves dissipating. What's really interesting about this is it could be a very physical reunion, if you get my drift. So the makeup sex could be great. And then finally, for your money and materials, you have the Queen of Wands. Very interesting the way that the cards have come out. Now, your Queen of Wands is usually a fire sign woman, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This could be somebody that has a very This could be somebody who is, you know, vibrant, passionate, somebody that really knows themselves, potentially somebody that's actually very intuitive. This could be somebody that really helps you get ahead financially, that could also show you where maybe your boundaries need to be a bit firmer in terms of your money and materials. So there's that as well. In terms of the Queen of Wands for making money, this week it could, you know, everything could absolutely speed up, but it's going to require you to prioritize everything. You're having to really think long and hard. Well, not even long, because you don't have the time for it, but you are having to think really hard about whether this is or isn't viable for me at the moment. Like, is this a high value task that I should be doing, or should I outsource it? For those of you that are when it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Queen of Wands is great for vitality and healthy stuff, but I have to say, it does look like for some of you there's potentially some kind of inflammation coming in. Now remember, I'm not a doctor, I can't give you medical advice, I just know what I see in my cards. The other thing that potentially shows up here as well is if you have had or suffered any kind of I don't know how to say this, but you know, like if you suffered any personal issues, let's say personal issues, this could be like a flare up of some sort, or you know. And I have to say, if you are active and out there and enjoying yourself, be sure to handle your business as in look after yourself, all right? Using protection, all the rest of it, because it could get a little bit iffy. It's just because obviously the High Priestess has like a hidden element to it, so it's kind of like one of those you might get more than you bargained for. That being said, there's a lot of fun, sexuality and vibrancy to have here. It's just because like the Chariot's here, it's a bit fast and heavy, and you know, so just be mindful when it comes to your and for a lot of you this is going to be a very active week in terms of like doing stuff, and then when it comes to your home and environment, the Queen of Wands is going to see you having to lay down the law in some way, shape or form. You will have to kind of have a passionate word with somebody to say, hey, listen, you know, you're kind of overstepping the mark here, and you kind of need to not, basically. Like, so it'll be an interesting week. For those of you that are continued subbies, you know I love you. You know I missed you too. For those of you that are new to my channel, and for all of you, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose, and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. Take care, and I'll see you soon.